Hi, I am Regina Mora. I go on all my platforms by Mommy Mango, and I help mommies strengthen and tighten their mommy tummies. That includes tightening a loose, weak mommy tummy. That includes helping with back pain and also pelvic floor issues. Um, so today I'm going to talk about ab gripping. If you're someone who grips your upper abs down or who sucks in your stomach like chronically as a habit, this talk is for you. It is super common for us to just suck in our stomach, hold it in a lot. And I am going to talk about why that is not helpful and what we can do instead. Because I know that we do that because we don't want our stomach just hanging all out. We might feel insecure. We might just feel like it just makes things look better and just feel more comfortable that way. But there is a better way, and I want to explain where are some of the problems with that kind of sucking into the stomach or ab gripping. Okay. All right. So I help moms primarily with core rehab, especially if you have a weak deep core system. So a lot of people are doing like sit-ups, B-sits, all these traditional ab exercises, which really help with the external part of the core, like the six-pack abs and all of that. But I help moms who really need to strengthen their deep core. How do you know if that's you? Well, very quickly, if you lean back and you look down and you see any bulging or doming coming up through your midline, then you have diastasis recti. Check out the link in my bio for more information on that. Check out my YouTube videos. I talk about that all the time, so I won't go super deep into that today. But if you lean back and you look down and you see coning or doming coming up through your midline, or your whole entire six pack bulges and you can't keep it flat, when you lean back, that's what I help moms with, strengthening strengthening and flattening that coning and doming. Okay, and that is also linked to pelvic floor issues, back problems, and all of that. So, but today we're going to speak specifically about the issues that we have with gripping our stomachs, sucking our stomachs in. If you want full length exercises for diastasis recti, deep core weakness, all of that, you can find that in the link of my bio. I have full length exercises that you can get started with today. Okay. But today I want to just skip all of that and I want to talk specifically about the problems that we get from just sucking in our stomach or ab gripping. Okay. So, are you an ab gripper? Here's how you can know. All right. Do you find that you have like it's your abs are flatter up here and you have a little pouch at the bottom? If you have that, I want you to put me in the comments. Is it flatter up here? So look down, check it out, look in the mirror. Do you even have like a line here? Like a line of demarcation almost, where it's flatter up here and then there's a little bulge down at the bottom. Okay? If you have it, okay, see, I see Soulful says me. Katina Glover says me. I'm seeing some me's pop up. All right. So if you have it's flatter up here and there's a little boop down at the bottom, you probably are an upper ab gripper. Okay. I see some more me's coming in. CCPA0. I see Nessa saying me. Yeah. I struggle with that. I struggle with that. The upper ab gripping. So where's that come from? Well, a lot of us who have had babies, when the baby was inside of our stomach, we couldn't really grip very well down here because the baby was there. And so a lot of us, to kind of feel more supported, might have really over recruited our upper abs. So that's not uncommon. It was just a way of trying to like maintain balance and keep us from falling over when we were pregnant. Um, but after baby, we may still keep up that habit and we need to start working on that. The question is why. Also, are you somebody who kind of sucks in at the waistline? So you might just kind of hold in without even thinking about it. Maybe you've done that since like middle school or high school, where you kind of hold in right here at the center. You might even have a little line there where you kind of have that, and then you have a little bulge at the bottom. Okay. So those things, why would that be problematic? So with that, if you are, and you can just pretend and try this with me, suck your stomach in and then try to get a breath in. Where does your breath go? if you hold your abs in or you grip your abs down, if you breathe in, where does your breath go? Your breath goes up into your neck and into your chest. Okay. So there are different issues that can occur with that. So what happens is if you're always breathing into your chest, one, some of us have wider ribs postpartum. Okay. So we have, if we have wider rib cage, then we're also getting our muscles are kind of being pulled apart a bit like this, and we might get some, we might just not get those muscle recruitment that really can't happen very well if everything's pulled out and tight. Another thing that happens when you're breathing up and in your neck, you can actually kind of trigger your stress response, so you can just kind of feel more stressed and not even be sure why. Okay. Another thing is your lower belly when you inhale up into your chest, when you exhale, you tend to press down into the lower part of your belly and down into your pelvic floor. So since we're just kind of recruiting up here, we're not really recruiting down here really well, which is in part why we have that lower belly bulge. Not only that, but if our lower belly is bulging, it's not uncommon that you also have pelvic floor issues. So I want to hear that in the comments. If you have a lower, let's say you're really tight up here, kind of gripping down on the abs here, and you have a bit of a bulge at the bottom, do you also have some pelvic floor issues, whether it's leaking, tightness, when you leaking when you sneeze or cough or laugh, or you just feel like extra tight if you feel any kind of pain with penetration, or even just extreme looseness down there. If you're having any kind of pelvic floor issues and you have a lower belly bulge, that could be connected because when you are gripping down on your upper abs or you're gripping down here at the waistline, what happens is you're kind of pushing out here at the bottom. So if your core is kind of like a canister, if you press here, then that pressure is sent somewhere. That pressure comes down. The pressure comes down and it comes out. Okay. Yes, I see me. So I'm seeing some of you who are saying, yes, when I have a lower belly pooch, I grip up here. I've got that ab gripping going on, and I have pelvic floor issues as well. So that's something that can happen. We also see that with moms who have some prolapse because they're gripping here and all the pressure is coming down and out here. Okay, so you could be experiencing prolapse or pelvic floor issues in general and that lower belly bulge. Okay, so what can we do instead? A few things that I want you to work on. Definitely exercises to strengthen that lower belly. Okay, exercises to start reminding yourself to recruit the lower abs. And those are all my exercises on my TikTok, focus there. The full length exercises that you can get in the link of my bios, focus there. Another thing that is super important that people don't even think about, and this is why this is like a whole, in my paid course, this is like a whole week. We spend a whole week on this one thing, and that is learning how to breathe properly. I know that sounds so weird, like duh, we all breathe. But if you are constantly gripping your abs or cinching your waist in the middle, like kind of holding your abs in like that, what happens is, like I said earlier, you are breathing in, but the breath isn't going down the way it should. It's going up this way, up into our neck, up into our chest. Okay. So one of the first things that we can do that can really make a huge difference. I mean, people who have learned how to do this properly can literally start seeing their pelvic floor issues like resolve. Literally start seeing their lower belly bulge resolving without doing any exercises whatsoever. And what is that thing? It's breathing properly. Okay. And what you'll want to do is check in with yourself throughout the day, and you want to start focusing on trying to get a deep inhale where you are inhaling down and you're feeling an expansion of your lower ribs, of your belly, of your back. You want to feel like your breath is coming down and out. You want to feel it down to your pelvic floor, okay? And so when you breathe in, you're feeling it come down. If you are gripping your abs or holding your stomach in, you're going to feel it go up and out. Try that with me right now. Grip your abs, grip your upper abs, hold, suck in your stomach. You see, it comes up and out. But if you relax, sit up nice and tall, you know, uncave your ribs from gripping there, then I want you to try to imagine breathing down. Now, this can take practice. This is why in my paid course, I literally spend at least a week with my ladies learning how to breathe properly. Because, like I said, that can help tighten things up without doing any exercises whatsoever. I know you probably don't believe me, it seems unrealistic, but I promise you, if you are relaxing this upper ab area and you're breathing down instead of breathing up and bulging here, then if you don't have that constant pressure of bulging, sometimes as you come up, you're breathing down, you're starting to engage those lower muscles. And as you lengthen up, that helps you also engage those lower muscles. And you're not fighting against that you're not using the pressure and fighting against and causing that bulge to happen. Okay. And so sometimes things resolve themselves by just learning how to breathe properly. And that also helps to lower stress and so many other things. If you look up deep diaphragmatic breathing, you'll see that there's so many benefits. Well, this is another one. So one thing I want you to work on if you're an upper ab gripper or you kind of suck in your stomach a lot, I want you to work on as often as you can. Check in with yourself and relax and breathe deep down and into your abs. Okay, so one thing I want you to do is start working on tightening those lower abs, the deep core. I have a bunch of exercises for that. Check out the links in my bio. Check out all the exercises here on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this right now. Check those exercises out because that's going to help tighten things up down here so you can really learn to engage your core. That's one. Two, you want to work on deep breathing, inhaling down instead of just up and out. Inhale down. Another thing is you want to check your posture. You want to make sure that you're not doing this number, caving in. Okay. You want to open up. You want to pretend as though you're lengthening up. You're lengthening your spine up. You see my abs? Like I told you, I'm an upper ab gripper too. So I've been working on that a lot, but you can still see a little bit of an indentation there. It's flatter here and boom. Okay. And so what I want you to do is lengthen up. And you see how what happens when I lengthen up? Look at my abs. Okay, I'm gonna kind of slouch down a little bit. Now, as I lengthening up engages your deep core. That that muscle that tightens your waistline is the same one that gives you stability and helps you to be upright and tall. So the more that we lengthen up and stand up nice and tall, the more you're going to engage that muscle. Okay, so even when you breathe and relax, you'll find that you're going to look slimmer by just sitting up nice and tall because you engage that deep core muscle that pulls everything in. Okay, so number one, you want to work on strengthening that area. Number two, you want to work on relaxing and getting your breath down, not just up and out, but down all the way around your core. Okay, and number three, your posture, sitting up nice and tall. Okay, and I know that it's a super struggle to not to you don't really want to just have your stomach just hanging out. So I'm telling you, don't suck in your stomach. What can you do instead so that you feel like you have support there? So I'm not just saying like let everything all hang out. One thing that you can do, besides just sitting up nice and tall, if you're feeling like, okay, I don't want my stomach, to just be sticking out, I'm in a public setting or whatever, I just kind of hold it in to feel more secure. Stand up nice and tall. Another thing too is pretend as though you are separating your rib cage from your pelvis. Okay, that action works on pulling that in a more organic way, for lack of a better word. That sounds like organic. Anyway, instead of just sucking in like this, pretend as though you're trying to stretch up, and that lengthening up engages your transverse abdominis and pulls it in a way that your body is meant to. Because your transverse abdominis that's triggered when you do that naturally brings everything in. Okay, but when you're gripping your abs, you're kind of gripping your superficial muscles, your erectus abdominis. So you're gripping here, but you're causing pressure to go down. But if you're lifting up, you're using that deep core muscle that naturally wraps around you and brings it in. Okay, and that's how it's supposed to work. That muscle is designed to kind of cinch you in all the way around. That's why we focus on that a lot in the beginning of all my programs is the transverse abdominis, because that one wraps around, it cinches you in, and that was also the main one of the major ones that gets stretched out when the baby's in there because it has to have give.